What's going on, guys? It's Luke here. Going to run through this trade recap of this trade today that we took on ES. We ended up catching a huge winner today, not going to lie. Like, we took majority of the profits off at London low, so we ended up catching just under 3R. And then I had my trailing stop, ended up getting taken out right here, and then price actually just ended up running up past there. So we ended up taking profits all the way down. This was an eval trade. Today's FOMC heavy news day, so I didn't want to actually trade like fundeds or anything like that. So I just decided to chuck it on an Apex eval and ended up paying out pretty good, almost past that that eval. So I should be able to pass the next trade. I just didn't. I wanted to see price come down lower to this previous day low, which would have probably had me passing in and around there. But regardless, let's start from the top and start from or move our way down. So on the 4-hour, price was respecting this 4-hour bearish fair value gap, and I wanted to see. I actually put in the Discord. I'll put screenshots at the end. I talked about if price reacted off this 4-hour fair value gap. I wanted to see price sweep lower and come down to take out London and then potentially lower from there. So coming into the market, I seen price had already swept out London high. In the pre-market, it swept London high at like the 7 a.m. candle, and I wanted to see price come down and take out London low because that was the next sell side draw, and I just figured there's really not much to the upside, so I figured we could be able to look for sells. So my first trade, I ended up closing out break even. I just don't have it on the chart because I'll have to go back and check for the exact entry, but I ended up getting in on a 5-minute inverse fair value gap rate over here. I ended up entering on this close right here, and then price came down. It came back to the entry, and then it hovered, and then I just ended up just closing it out break even, and thankfully I did, because then price ended up coming up and manipulating back to the upside again. And from here, this is where I decided to look for the entry. Now, this was a bit of a gamble. Like I said, I'll show you the screenshots again of me posting when I entered in the Discord. Again, guys, tap in. It's shit's for free, so I'm going to post the screenshots at the end. I'll have the link in the description, or I'll pin the comment or something. But price was respecting CE of this 4-hour bearish fair value gap. And at this point, there were relative equal lows on ES for London low. So let's put this back over here. So on that initial push, we took that first short, price ended up putting in an equal low. And then if we put on the kill zones indicator, our AM low and our London low are relatively equal lows, right? So that's what I'm looking for to target. So again, the 4-hour comes up and it's still holding that bearish for value gap, and now it's holding CE of the gap. Price now manipulated to the upside, taking out these highs up here, taking out these relatively equal highs, because these were relative equal highs at this point. And then, well, a better option, obviously, and a more safer option would have been waiting for these 5-minute gaps to inverse and then taking the retest and then looking to trade down. But I said, we're at a higher time frame FVG. We're still holding it. There's not much buy side liquidity. There's clear draws at sell side at London low at least. So I just went down to the 2-minute and I entered off of a 2-minute inverted fair value gap. Right here, we have this 2-minute bullish fair value gap get run through. I entered around the close. I got in a little bit of a decent fill right here at 64.1725. Stopped just a little bit above this high right here at 64.21.50, and I just targeted the way down. So I took a little bit off at this 5-minute gap, another chunk off at this 5-minute gap, and then I took some off at London low, and then I trailed my stop, and then the rest of my stop, my last position got taken out right there on that trailing stop around like 64.08, around there, something like that. So yeah, just to recap again, guys, price was respecting this 4-hour bearish fair value gap. I wanted to see price rotate lower down to at least London low. We're respecting CE of the gap. We had a manipulation to the upside, taking out relative equal highs. And then for me, I just saw the risk to reward potential. Again, eval trade, 2-minute inverted fair value gap, stops above the high, and I just targeted all the way down and ended up catching a pretty good move. I want to see price come down lower to the previous day low, but still pretty good. I'm super happy with this trade. So that's going to wrap it up for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until the next one, give me a like, subscribe, comment on the video. Check out my link tree, follow all my socials. If you guys are interested in the mentorship, I have all that link in my link tree, so check that out. Join the free Discord, and I'll be back with the next video. So I'll see you guys then. Peace.